Hello. Welcome back to the Bride and Geek podcast. Here's one of your hosts, Ray.
And this is Jessie, the bride.
And the geek.
How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing wonderful.
That's good to hear.
So, what are we doing today? The big grin on your face.
We are going to talk to a lady named Mandy Cummings.
That is correct.
She's a paranormal investigator, retired police officer. She's into it. You know, she can do mediumship and send spirits and all that good stuff. And I'm really excited about this episode. So,
yeah, I'm pretty excited too.
Got chills.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
And I hope everybody listened to the previous podcast about our staircase murder. I don't know if any of you guys checked it out, but this episode, hopefully, we will get some more feedback on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be one for the ages.
One of my favorite things to do.
All right, well, let's get into it.
All right.
Okay, so on this week's Bride and Geek podcast, we have Mandy Cummings on. She is an intuitive medium and paranormal investigator. How's it going today, Mandy?
It's going good.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm a intuitive medium and also a level 2 Reiki practitioner. I worked in law enforcement for 8 years, retired early, I'm still young, to pursue my career as a medium and a paranormal investigator.
Nice. Okay, so first question. What was your very first experience with the paranormal, and how did you know it wasn't just your imagination?
I would have been around 9 or 10. At that time, I was just sensing things in my house, when I was in my room alone. Could have been fear, but I just had this overwhelming feeling that I knew something was watching me. And then at 11 years old, my brother was killed, and I started noticing we always had the radio on at nighttime when we were kids sleeping. We'd leave the radio on. And I started noticing that the radio would go turn up and down. You would hear footsteps walking around in my brother's old bedroom, things like that. And I knew it was my brother. And throughout my years, even as a teenager, I experienced something crawling in bed with me one time, which really scared me really bad. I just sensed like it was always an overwhelming fear of, I did not like being alone. I didn't care where I was or how used to the place I was. I felt like there was just things watching me all the time. And there was.
Yeah.
Because throughout my life, I've been dealing with spirit my whole life. I mean, I've had alarm clocks talk to me, yelling out my name, and oh my God, you guys, this has been my whole life. And strange things like this, and I was terrified of spirit. So I was always curious. I was never told that ghosts weren't real, because I actually would listen when I was younger. My family talk about the ghost, or my grandma having an experience, or my aunt, or we were never told it wasn't real. Just my dad, when I told him that something crawled in bed with me, he just said nah. He didn't believe it. But my mother, she was very open to it.
I totally get, I just had felt something crawling in bed with me probably like 2 days ago. It freaked me out. I've had experiences since, I had this one weird thing happen to me. I was about 18 or 19, and I was sitting on the porch with my mom, and I had told her, I remember going to Grandma Sears's house, and because she had passed away, and my dad was, it was my dad's mom. And I said, yeah, I remember the car we were in, and I remember the paintings and everything like my dad took, and she said, go in there and tell your dad what you just told me. And I mentioned everything, and he said, that is really crazy, Jessie. And I said, why? And my mom said, well, I was pregnant with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Never met her. She, died. And I will never forget that. And then things started I was about 4 or 5 hearing things. I hear things. I guess I'm seeing a lot more now. I see a lot of things now. But yeah, I grew up everywhere I lived. My mom always said I'm the light for the ghosts. You know, they need me or so.
Yeah, that's how it's been for me. I used to think, is it just where I've lived? It's just have ghosts. And then I'm like, as it just got worse and worse for me, I said, no, I think it's me. and it was me, and I knew something was different about me, you know, with my connection with these spirits, and I was just terrified of it, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's become very intriguing to me throughout the years because they would always call out to me and just, you know, so I'm like, okay, there's so much here, and I gotta quit. I gotta quit being so scared of them. And eventually I had to get over that because my children started having experiences.
Okay.
And especially my youngest, and it got to the point so bad for her. She was like 9 and 10, going through like an awakening with this, to where the spirits was just taunting her really bad. And I didn't know what to do, you know, to help her. So I had to, I got a reading from a guy over in Ireland, and he said, Mandy, he goes, you've only been having all these experiences because you're a natural medium and the spirits are drawn to you. And I'm like, oh, God.
Lucky me.
And yeah, he's like, I can help you help your daughter if you let me. I said, okay, what do we got to do here? What do I got to do? He goes, let me mentor you, you know, and I'll work with you, and you can, you know, help your daughter. So he mentored me for a whole year, and I was able to kind of help my daughter with it. But still, she was fighting it so bad, and it got really bad. I mean, you guys, it'd freak you out, some of the things that she was seeing, and us together was even getting worse, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of was able to help her, but still to this day, she doesn't want any part of it. She sees them all over the house. She's always seen them everywhere she's ever went. Worse than me. I'm like, geez, man. You know?
And how old is she now?
She's 22.
22.
Yeah, and she tells me all the time. She goes, the house that, you know, she grew up in here. She says, I'm tired of the spiders and the ghosts in this house. I'm like, well, she gets terrified of this house, and they've always fed off her fear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. Has there ever been a time when you tried to close off your abilities entirely, and why?
Nope. I've always been open, and I don't even know how anyone can shut it down. When I've heard people say they just, well, to be honest, it's weird. I can tap in and tap out, but I never try to shut it down. Like there's times when I'm out investigating with other people. Yeah, I tap into spirit, or I just kind of, it's in and out, or I will fully be open and just whatever comes through, comes through. I don't like to I don't want to, when I'm around other people, I don't want to be one of those, you know, mediums that's like seeing, and all the whole investigation is all about what I'm hearing and seeing. I don't want to do that when I'm with other people. So I want to investigate, you know, and if spirit's coming through and I'm getting it, then I'll say it. But sometimes I'm like, nope, I don't want to say anything. But sometimes it's hard because they're really on you, like they want you to. So it just depends. So I always say when I'm with other people, I'll tune in, tune out, but I don't shut it down. No.
It's super funny. I noticed with Jessie, there'll be times when she kind of ignores it, is the best way to say. She can't really shut it off, but she can ignore it better certain times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently it's just been picking up, and I have 3 girls, and my one's oldest, she moved out, but the two, my 14, no, she's 16, she's seen stuff where we live now. We've had this house for 4 years, and it's a trailer, and but her boyfriend was sitting on the couch just yesterday. We were watching a movie. He says, something just tapped me. And my daughter's like, no way. And he's like, this is what it felt like. So I said, hey, I guess you meant our ghost.
Even I have a story like that. I was in the living room, and I walked into our kitchen area, and I just turned like I was going to go to the sink, and I saw a figure like duck down our hallway, and it was so solid, and I thought that it was a person so much. I ran around and down the hallway. I'm throwing doors open, trying to figure out where this person went, because I knew for sure that there was a person in my house, and there wasn't.
Oh, wow.
I know. It was crazy.
Yeah, sometimes you will see them look just like people, and sometimes they will be like all white. It just really, they could be dark. It just depends, if they have enough energy to manifest to their true form, unless it's actually a shadow person that never did exist. You know what I mean? It's something non-human.
Right.
Yeah, see, the one that I saw, it was dark. Like, it didn't look like any clothes. It just was like a figure.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, actually. It was a little bit scary, but that's the thing. I've never really experienced anything until I was with Jesse, and I always considered myself somebody who didn't really believe, but I really wanted to. You know what I mean? I've gone places that they said that they were haunted before, never had any experiences of any kind, but since being with her, it's picked up for me, and it is what it is.
Well, spirit can read your mind. They know who's open and who's not. They can read your energy really good, so they know. There's certain auras about people that people carry, and that they are drawn to.
Do you happen to know? Because I had a blue light, and I had a blue light go around me a couple years ago. Now, you'd say that was like a spirit, you would say, or is that like a angel or orb?
A blue orb?
Yeah, it was.
It sounds like it was like a blue orb. I've seen orbs with my eyes before, so that's a good thing. If it was blue, I believe. I don't research a lot on those orbs much, but I have in the past. Blue is good, I believe. Blue is good.
Yeah, it was a real pretty blue.
Red and black is not good. Red and black's not good.
Okay. Yeah, it was just, I was sitting on the couch, and it just like kept circling around me. Like, it didn't touch me, and he got it on video, and we did it in slow motion to make sure, it's what, and exactly, it was a blue.
Yeah, the crazy part is when I slowed it down, you could see it changing directions. It was weird. Wow. It was super weird.
And that could have been a loved one too that was coming, circling you around you.
Yeah, I think it was my mom, because we had a paranormal team come to the apartment we had lived at, and I'd seen that blue light after they had left. It came through our sliding door and shot up right upstairs to that's where I lived. We lived in an apartment complex, and my mom and dad were up there, and we were at the bottom, and it actually shot through the sliding door and up to the ceiling. And I said to my husband, I said, "You've seen that, right?" He's like, "Yeah." And then a couple years later, that blue light came around. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen gold ones with my eyes. I've seen pink with my eyes, and I've seen blue when I've been investigating. It was the only time I ever. Now, wait, I forgot about that. I did see a black one in my house, a black orb, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
I knew that wasn't good. But all the other ones I've seen during investigations.
Okay. Yeah,
with my eyes.
I figured blue would be okay, and the colorful ones.
And you can always look it up too, and they'll give you a whole description on all the colors of what they say they mean.
Okay. Which one do you want to go
So
with?
you're up.
For mediums, how do spirit communications present themselves to you? Like visuals, emotional sensations?
So I realize the more I've been able to open up my gifts more, I've got a little bit of everything that I can do. I'm not just a medium. I know I do a little bit of psychic too, the psychic abilities. I'm physical medium. And the reason I say physical medium is because when I'm giving people readings or when I'm investigating, they'll make me feel what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like my body will start to hurt in certain areas, my head, just depends what happened to them. Sometimes I'll taste blood when it's really bad, something very horrible, I'll start tasting blood. They'll give me visuals. I'll see it in my third eye, I'll hear them, smells, taste, everything.
Wow.
Everything that goes with it, I can get when I'm tapping into spirit channeling.
I guess that's,
Wow.
that's cool. I mean, I'm sure, at times it's scary to have to see that happen to somebody, feel those feelings, and I can't imagine.
Yeah, it can be, a lot of times these spirits, they like to call out my name, When I'm investigating, they're always calling out my name, Mandy, Mandy. I'm like, I hear you. At night when I'm laying down and I'm trying to sleep, they'll be jumping in, trying to get my attention. Mandy, Mandy. And yeah, it gets, it just depends. Sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's not as strong. It really depends. But when they come through, they come through to me.
That's so cool.
That is. All right. So, what is the single most terrifying or unsettling thing you have ever witnessed in the field?
Oh, I've had quite a bit. Well, there's a couple things that I can remember. One of the things was I was filming with Sherry Dimbandetti from TAPS, Ghost Hunters.
Okay.
And I was with her in New Jersey with her and Jason Halls and them. But Jason wasn't with us on this. He was investigating a friend of his and mine. And him and Jason were in another area, and me and Sherry was in these mines, the Sterling mines in New Jersey. And we were filming for her episode, on her channel. And we were getting all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden, me and Sherry both, and we had our cameras, we were filming the whole time. And all of a sudden, we kept hearing voices. And we both at the same time looked up, and I seen this guy, this really tall, big guy. And he didn't look like he had a lot of hair, and he looked like he was in a white shirt and just regular pants. He walked out of the wall, and he had a flashlight in his hand, and he pointed it at us, and he was yelling at us. And I'm like, freak me out. And I'm like, Sherry's like all calm and collective. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, you see that, Sherry? She's like, yeah. I said, oh my gosh. And she starts walking towards it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just kind of like, oh gosh. So I just started following her, and eventually it disappeared as we got closer. But that was really scary. That was really intense because I really thought it was a person. And when we got down there and where I seen it come out of the wall, there was a dummy. They had a hole in the floor with a ladder, and it was one of those miner dummy. It's a dummy, a display of a miner on a ladder. And it was like chained off, and there was a tape around it, a caution tape, and there was no entrance to go in nowhere. It was just a hole in the floor with a dummy.
Wow.
So that thing just walked out of there. So that really freaked us out, and we got it on camera, but it was the lighting at the end was so bright you couldn't really see the figure, but you could see something down there. So that was freaky. And another time I was in Tennessee, at a very, very haunted place called the Yura Shrine. And I had something literally was trying to manifest on my shoulder. I seen it, the reflection of it, and it freaked me out. I started spinning around trying to knock it off of me. And what I seen was this, it looked like a translucent, like cloud, like it was almost like brown looking, but it was like a cloud, and it was like hovering right next to my shoulder. And I was trying to knock it off. I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. It was 2:30 in the morning. So I'm spinning around trying to get this thing off of me. And I seen it shoot underneath the table. And I stop and I look up and I see one of the members of the shrine standing there. And I said, please tell me you seen that. And he looked at me and he said, Mandy, you had something trying to manifest on you. I said, oh my gosh. I said, I knew it. But it was terrifying because I never in my life had anything like that happen.
Wow.
I couldn't explain it, but this place was so scary. And they practice different practices there, and I could go on and on about this place. You guys would be really intrigued by it, but well, it's just a very haunted place. Scary.
Yeah.
Jesse seems to get scared kind of when things happen, and I am more, I don't know, interested. Like not scared. Like I never really get scared. It's like maybe I get startled a little bit, but I just, my logical mind always says, well, you never hear about anybody, in the news getting hurt by a ghost or something. So I feel pretty safe, honestly. I don't know, I kind of want to follow and ask them questions.
Well, they can push, they can pull on your hair. I've had them grab my butt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, seriously. And then I had a spirit box running, my ink box was on, and right when I said, I just felt something grab my butt, I was investigating this, it was a bed and breakfast out in the country, and I was by myself. And as soon as I said that, I was at the bar, and spirit came through after I said that. I felt something grab my butt, and it was a guy. He laughed through that spirit box, and he said, haha, butt. I was like, oh my gosh. But they can, just like they can crawl in bed with you. They can move things, but it takes a lot of energy for them to move things. But they can mess with you. I had dark things follow me here from that location I was just talking about. Really bad stuff here where I've heard knocks, I've heard growls. I had something growling at me, crawling in bed, growling at me. It can get really scary, really, really scary fast if you're not careful.
And how do you just kind of, do you say a prayer? Do you tell it to leave? How do you go on about trying to not having to bother you no more?
Well, they don't like sage, and sage burns them and they don't like it, and it just lowers the energy in your home, but it also makes them mad. So I'll just sit there and I'll smoke them out. So, if you're going to sit here and taunt me, I'm going to keep saging every day if I have to until you're gone, and I'll continue. And I just get really upset and mad at them, and I'll just keep saging. And it takes a while, depending on what I'm dealing with. I just had one a couple months ago follow me, and it followed me from two bad locations over in, I think it was in Illinois, Chicago. And it was bad. This thing was taunting me. It was following me on investigations. It was giving my daughter nightmares. It was freaking me out. It was bad. It was causing chaos in my house. It tried to hit my daughter. It knocked off the camera, our camera. We have security all over our home. Working in law enforcement, you're going to have lots of security. Because my husband works in law enforcement too. But we have a camera, in our kitchen. We have an open compound in there, living room and kitchen. So we have a camera that's been sitting on top of the cupboards for years in the same spot. And my daughter, she kept complaining that something followed me, and she'd been seeing this tall black thing, and it's giving her nightmares, and she complaining about it. During the day seeing it, nighttime seeing it. And she was telling me something that happened, and she was over by the stove cutting up some meat. All of a sudden, the camera come flying down and just about hit her in the head.
Oh,
I was like, I said, that is it. And I said, there was no reason for that to fall.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was that thing. And I had been saging, and I guess I wasn't doing it enough. I did it a lot, I thought. And I said, I got so mad. I said, that is it. And this time I was saging, and I was chewing it out.
You put your foot down.
Man, I was going off. But yeah, I had that. I think it knew then, like, she's mad. And I think I got it to go, but I didn't feel it was completely gone for maybe another week, because it did follow me to a location, and I was alone. I go alone sometimes, and it growled at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like trying to hurry up and pack up my stuff, because it's scary. I go out there alone sometimes. Listen, I've never thought in my life I'd be investigating the paranormal alone.
Right.
But I do.
I give you kudos for that. I can't imagine.
It's a really cool, progression that you had going from law enforcement into paranormal investigating, because it's like you're still investigating, so the skill set kind of translates over. It's just the tools that are different.
Yeah, and I love investigating jails and prisons, because sometimes I'll wear my vest, and I'll go in there and I'll be like, all right, guys. And I start talking to them and like I would have before. And I get a lot of attention. I've had them pull on my vest before. But I felt like they did it they were trying to stop me from going into an area down into this dungeon, which was a jail in Indiana, the Blackford County Jail. And it was me and one lady was investigating, and I had my vest on, and we were about to go into the dungeons, and I felt something pull on my vest, and I was like, oh my gosh, it pulled me back. And I wasn't for sure if it was saying, don't go in there, or if it was just mad at me.
Yeah. So they were either trying to help you, or
yeah,
hopefully they were trying to help you. Don't go in there.
I was alone in the dungeon. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
All right. Next question. Is there any line that you refuse to cross in your work, like Ouija boards, provoking the spirits, stuff like that?
Yes, I will never provoke spirit. I've used Ouija boards, so I don't mind. I even do, I open myself up to spirit, and I do spiritual writing. I used to do this a lot. I used to take like 10 minutes, and I would write and channel. And then I would take my evidence, and then when we would be investigating, I'd see if anything came through that I got during, doing my channeling writing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, like
But
automatic writing. That's really cool.
Yeah. I taught myself that. Spirit had me doing it one day. I was like, dang, okay. But yeah, I used to do that a lot, and I still can. It just comes easily for me. I just start doing it, and I feel like it's almost like, it's like almost being moved, like when you're playing the Ouija board, how it moves through. Mm-hmm. That's what it does to me. Like they're moving me like that. It's weird. Oh. But there's, I will not provoke. I'll try just about, I don't really have to try a whole lot to get their attention. They're drawn to the energy. Spirits you got to think most of them were people at one time. Some were introverts, some were, extroverts. So some people don't like crowds, and they don't like, some of them like only smaller crowds. So you got to look at it like that. So when you go to a place and you got a lot of people, you may get a lot of attention because you might have a spirit, that once was an extrovert and once wanted to be around a lot of people. But then again, you might have crickets because they're introverts and they don't like big crowds. So I never did like going out with a lot of people. I prefer to keep it small or go by myself because I get so much more. And they might not like the person that's with me.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just don't know what energy, I could go alone to a place and get all kinds of stuff, and I can bring one person with me and maybe get a couple things. As to where if I went alone, I'd probably have a whole lot more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think I could do that alone, though. Being in the dark.
It takes time to build up. Oh, it takes time to build up to that. But I ask myself all the time, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
I would think you would get braver over time, as things go and like things that turn out all right. And...
Yeah, when I first started, I would never do a isolation. You couldn't get me for years. Well, I wouldn't say years, about a year. And then finally, people watching us would say, you guys need to do isolations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I was so terrified. I was like, no. And then I started small. I'd do like 5 minutes. And then, I'd do 10 minutes. And then however long I wanted. And then I just wasn't scared anymore. I mean, it's still scary, but it's not as bad.
What is your theory on why children and pets seem more sensitive to spirits than adults?
Well, children are innocent. They haven't been told that it's their, they're innocent. They're open to it. And what happens is once they're told it's their imagination over and over, they do eventually block it off and it just fades for them. Mm-hmm. But most of the children are, they're just open to it because they're innocent. And animals, they can see into the spiritual world. Their vision and their perspective, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a higher sense than we do. And they can just sense, their senses are a little bit more open. They're on more of alert. And I believe that's what it is. That's why they can sense and see the spirits more than other people can. Mm. But spirits are also drawn to children because the children are more open to it.
Right, and they
don't know, mm-hmm. They're seeing a ghost, they see a person.
And they think
they don't know whether...
Yeah, they think it's a friend they met across the street.
That's kind of what I always thought too, that the children are more open to imagination and they're less conditioned to be disbelieving.
Yeah.
They're not as
my grandchildren. Yeah, my grandchildren, and they see ghosts in my house. They see ghosts in their house, It's crazy. And they're 4 and under.
Wow.
And they threw up down they seen me walk into the bedroom and I was sitting in the living room. Yeah. I said, you didn't see me. but they're identical twin girls, and they've been talking about seeing, ghosts for a long time.
Oh, so
and we don't tell them, oh, it's your imagination, because I know it's not their imagination. They're really seeing it, and they'll describe them.
Wow.
Very clear.
Oh. I know Madison, my youngest, she was about, I want to say 2-ish, maybe even before that, but I couldn't get her to nap in our apartment we were living in, and she would always say, the black shadow man's gonna get me. And I didn't think anything of it at first, but I mean, she was terrified, and she would always point to the closet behind, because I guess her crib was kind of by the one closet, but she'd point to the other closet behind her, and she would not go to sleep with, by herself. And then eventually, that apartment, I knew there was things there. I just didn't think it was a bad thing, a bad spirit.
Yeah.
But she was terrified. She remembers it a little bit, but not so much. But, yeah, I don't know. I know the one, my daughter Jessalyn at 16, she experienced a lot of things, getting touched, and it kind of goes in and out for her. But I think I may get it. My dad, he can probably write a million books about things, and but I think I get it from him because he picked up a lot of stuff too when I was little and growing up in different houses. So I guess, yeah. he was a hippie, and he's 72 now,
Yeah.
and he could tell some crazy stories about things, and
Wow.
so when I say this happened to me, he said, I believe you. So not so much my mom.
Really?
Yeah, my mom, well, I know my dad told a story to me just the other day when they first met. He was at work and my dad had mentioned, hey, I have a ghost. It's this lady, she really don't bother me. My mom's like, yeah, right. And she was cooking dinner and, cleaning up and waiting for him to come home. And she's like, well, I met your ghost today. Yeah. And my mom passed away. It's going to be 13 years coming up November 1st. And, at first I was having a lot of bad dreams, like of the situation, how she passed away in the hospital. And, I don't know. I kind of have dreams, and I know they say, your loved ones come to you in your dreams, and
They do.
that's, and I kind of always wish for her to come more in my dreams. And then I'm like, she's not watching over me. And then yesterday I was just sitting in the car and I seen this beautiful blue and black butterfly, and it just sat there for a couple of minutes and then just flew away, just like so gently. And I'm like, okay, maybe, hi mom, I was at peace for a minute, because I was thinking about her.
Yeah, and they can read, spirit can read your mind. So, they understand you more now than they would have when they were here.
Yeah. Even my grandfather, after he passed away and I was like 10 years old, I remember having this dream, and it was very crazy. He was in his coffin and he was banging on the top and saying, I don't belong here. I shouldn't be here. And it, being 9 years old, it kind of freaked me out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
So I've been, like I said, I've been dealing with it forever, but I kind of don't pursue it. I thought about it and then I'm like, I better not.
Everything aligned for me, so it's weird how it happened. It just all aligned. And when I say it aligned, I mean it all aligned. The way that it went down was like it was meant to be for me.
Yeah. Now, did your mom have anything do you know of, or?
Yeah, yes,
abilities?
It runs on. I never heard nobody on my dad's side ever talk about it, but there's a lot of Native American on my dad's side and Italian. On my mother's side, that's where I hear it the most. My mom, she sees spirits in her dreams, and she's had premonitions. She sees spirits sometimes. And actually, yeah, she sees movies playing like in her third eye all the time. She says, she tells me about it sometimes when she closes her eyes, it's like a movie playing, and she'll see these things going on, these people, which I understand that because I've had that too. So yeah, it's runs in the family. A lot of empaths in my family. A lot of women are sensitive. My sisters have seen ghosts, heard ghosts. Yeah, it just runs. There's a lot of women in my family. There's more women on my mom's side than there is on either sides of my family.
Okay. Yeah, I think I had a cousin. I don't really speak to her, but years and years ago, I remember her. She was a psychic, but that's the only person I know that I've had contact with. I can't even remember her name. She probably passed away because she was a lot older, but.
Well, I think it came from my great-great grandmother that was Native American. She was full-blooded Native American, and my mother told me that, I think my mother said she had the gift. I can't remember, but that's where I believe it came from, her.
Okay. Yeah, my dad mentioned like Cherokee Indian in us.
I remember that as well.
He that's what he said, and he's dark. He stays dark all the time, like his skin color. And me, I have like an olive reflection, my skin color.
Yeah,
so
me too.
So yeah, I kind of believe that, and I know they say those people can sense those kind of things. So I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. If you could ask a spirit one single question about the universe and get a guaranteed clear answer, what would you ask? Yeah, it's a stumper.
I would ask spirit is these cardinals and these bluebirds and the butterflies and the dragonflies and things like that are loved ones coming back here for sure. Because I know they are, because I've had weird things happen. That's what I would ask. Is this the universe allowing this to happen, you know? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I had a cardinal literally stalking me. When I say this cardinal was stalking me, I was going through a hard time, and I remember I was just really, really upset, and I'd just stare off into the, through the window, and just really sad. I was going through some stuff, and I'd see this cardinal, and he kept coming over to the window, and I really wasn't thinking much of it, and he was looking at me. I was just thinking, maybe it's just seeing his reflection, but it got weird. It started following me. Every room I went into, it was right there at the window watching me, looking at me. And it would wake me up and wake us up every morning, pounding it would not quit pounding on the window. And then one time I walked into my office, and soon as I walked into the office, I heard a female spirit say something to me. And right when that female said something to me, that cardinal hit the damn window. So, I always felt that your loved ones can come back, as, a cardinal, dragonfly and things like that. But, that's just something I would ask, if they could tell me. Is the universe really speaking to me all the time? Because the universe is always sending me numbers. Boom, 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 back to back every day, all day long, angel numbers constantly.
Wow.
So I understand it, but sometimes I gotta wonder, it happens so much. It's like, so yeah, I would ask, some things like that.
That's a good
It's super funny because you have a lot of poignant experiences with exactly that. Bluebirds, cardinals, butterflies,
oh yeah, it's crazy, guys. The birds, they do, weird things. And I'm also a Reiki practitioner. I'm a level 2 Reiki practitioner. So it's the weirdest thing with these. I know that my spirit animal is a hawk and the eagle. And I'm beginning to wonder sometimes about the cardinal but I believe that was my father. But it was weird because I heard the female, and it was a male cardinal at the window. And then I heard the female. So I was like, it just really weirded me out, But yeah, for about 6 months, this cardinal did this, and I felt like it was trying to let me know it was going to be okay. And I honestly believe that was my dad. And I'm like, oh, and then it started getting to the point where when he would come back around, bad things were happening. And I was like, oh my God, I used to get happy when I see him. And then it was like, all of a sudden, it was like trying to warn me something was going to happen. And I used to get real nervous when I'd see this cardinal all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, now what? Because it wouldn't always be so good,
Yeah. Now, I know when they say people are having, like you said, you were going through a hard time being depressed and things. Do you think that's when spirit thinks you're more vulnerable and they come to you more?
Yeah, they can, good and bad, definitely. It just really depends, your loved ones come around you more than you know, but a lot of people think they're going to either just see them walk right up on them or something, or they don't understand that depending if the loved one is still here in this realm, in the spirit realm, or if they've already crossed over and they come back as cardinals, butterflies, and things like that. And my dad always told me when, before I got to doing my readings and doing paranormal, I used to ask him if he was going to come back and, give me a sign, that, he was okay, he made it. And he would tell me where I'm going, I can't come back. And I was like, what? He's like, I can't come back. I'll be in heaven. I can't. But I'm telling you guys, I know that cardinal was him. I know it was him. I know it was. I can't explain it. I can't. But yes, cardinals are very territorial, but this thing followed me from room to room throughout the day, staring at me. and always trying to like warn me, waking me up every morning. And it's just weird. Yeah. And my husband, he wasn't believing it. And then all of a sudden he was like, all right, Manny, this cardinal's got to stop. It won't stop.
That's a long time to have a bird do that.
It is. And you know what's weird? I have not seen that cardinal come back around here in a long, long time. Everything's smoothed out for me. And ever since everything's smoothed out, he's not been back around. And that's no joke.
That's great.
He came around when you needed him and then moved on.
I swear to you guys, that really happened like that. Really, really happened like that.
Yeah, amazing story.
Okay, so our last question.
What is the main lesson or takeaway you hope people learn from the work you do?
Is this referring to the mediumship or the paranormal side? Or both?
Both, yeah. I imagine there's a lot of overlap in doing the, investigating and being a medium and using the skills from both.
Closure. Definitely closure when I give them readings. When I do my investigations for residential cases for families, validation of what's going on. Because when I go do a location, I don't like to know anything about a residential. I go in, I'll read the whole place, and then I'll interview them, and they're just blown away from the things I was picking up. It gives them validation because of what they were experiencing. I had no clue, until I get there. So the main thing is closure and validation of what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's amazing. All right, so I just wanted to tell you thank you very much for coming on with us this week, Mandy, and we wish you luck and prosperity in everything you do here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for reaching out. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate it too. It's really cool because I don't talk to a lot of people about kind of things, and I started following you on Facebook, and I'm like, wow, she's because sometimes you can get the skeptics, the people that say they can read into you, and like this one girl was trying to give me a reading, and
my thing is I don't like to know anything. It's just like when I investigate and when I give people readings, I don't like to. I don't want to. I just start just channeling really fast for them, and they're like, "Okay, do you want me to say something now?" And I'm like. Well, give me a minute. And then I'll say, okay, you can validate. And then they'll say, blah, 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 So no medium is ever 100%. Now, depending on how long the reading is, if you're giving someone a 5-minute reading, you could be right on, boom, boom, boom. But usually a medium will never be 100% because some of it might not always make sense. And it depends on the connection when you're with someone. People who are don't believe in it and they're like skeptic, they can, like if I sense a skeptic someone near me, they can block me. It'll block me. Like I'm like, oh shit, here we go. We got this person's over here, not knowing, but they're blocking me because I'm sensing that they don't believe, and so they're shutting down. And I've had this happen. I've given skeptic readings and blew their mind. But I also tell people sometimes, you need to be open. Be open to spirit. Don't block it. You're blocking me. Stop blocking me.
Did you ever have, I know we've been going along, but I just had this one question. Have you ever had, like when you had a reading to say someone that lost their child or a loved one, husband especially, or kid, did you ever have that spirit come to you prior to their reading or after, like there was still more that spirit needed to get to you to tell that family something?
Oh, listen. There's the stories I could tell you guys with these spirits would just blow your mind. But yes, I do parties for people in Ohio. Like I offer 2 different parties, mediumship party, which is straight mediumship party. And then I do the mediumship party and the investigation with the people. But sometimes when I'm going to these parties, their loved ones are already coming to me, showing me what the place looks like that I'm heading to, or giving me their names and things like that. So there's one time I was giving this lady a reading, and this is no joke. And this is an hour reading, and I'm on video with her. And this is like crazy because the whole reading, I was like, boom, boom. I mean, spirit was coming through hardcore. And I was probably, I'm going to say I was about 90% all the way through. It was good. And right at the last 5 minutes of this reading, and this is no joke, and this was freaky, I see this guy. I mean, I seen him. He was solid, really big guy, walk right behind the lady that I was giving a reading to. And I'm like, what the hell? And I said, I thought you said you lived alone. And she goes, Mandy, I only live here with my kids, and my kids ain't here. The only one who's sitting right here with me is my girlfriend, and she's right here next to me. And I said, I just seen a man walk right behind you, and I said he's in a white shirt. I described him to a T, and how stocky he was, and it was her dead husband. I described what he was wearing, everything, which he was already coming through to me. You know, I was already connecting with him, but to actually seeing him with my eyeballs freaked us both out. And she was really freaked out because she said, Mandy, he was cremated, and we never put it on social media what he was wearing at the funeral services. And then it got worse, you guys. So she was like really intrigued by the whole reading. And this was 30 days after he just died. I mean, he'd only been dead 30 minutes. He was still in his death state. And so the next morning at 6:00 in the morning, I'm getting this weird ringing noise coming from my phone. I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, I look over and it's my messenger. I'm getting a phone call coming in from my message from Facebook Messenger. And it's that lady calling me. And I'm like, what the hell, 6:00 in the morning? I'm like, I didn't even answer. I was like, I'll deal with her when I wake up. Because, my husband, he's like, who's calling? And I was like, oh, it's just that lady, the girl I told you, her dead husband. I'm half asleep telling him, So we go back to sleep. I wake up and look at my phone. And I'm like, holy crap, 6 missed phone calls. And I text her and I said, hey, is everything all right with you? I said, you called me like 6 times. She said, oh my God, Mandy, I didn't call you. She goes, my phone has been in my locker since I got at work at 6 this morning. I said, oh my God, nope, I know who's calling. It was her freaking husband calling my phone, wanted me to talk to her, and he wouldn't quit. Wow. He wouldn't quit. It got so bad. She probably had about 5 more readings with me. And she actually told me that night, after I gave her that reading, she woke up to go to work early in the morning, and she heard her husband crying in her house. And she went downstairs into the kitchen, and all her cupboards were open. Oh. And I told her, I said, girl, he's stuck here because he was a drug addict, and she kicked him out 3 days prior to him getting in a car accident and dying. And so I don't know if he had came and got his clothes, but I know she set everything out. So she had just kicked him out. And then he's in a car accident, so it was bad. It got so bad that me and my sister had to go over there and investigate her place. And he still wouldn't move on. But he screamed through my box, clear. His name, clear. So yeah, I've had some weird stuff.
That's going to be me. If I can do it, I'm coming back because I'm going to miss you too much.
Oh, see, it's freaky, guys. They mess with your electronics. I actually had a ghost follow me from another location, and he freaked me out because I actually thought it was a guy wanted me to be on his podcast. And the questions he was asking, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And I'm like, yeah. So I sent over this whole paragraph, blah, 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 and when I messaged the guy back, he goes, I never sent you this. I said, what? He goes, Mandy, I never sent you this. And I said, oh my God. I knew right away it was this spirit that I was dealing with at this location I was just at. And he was using my phone to try to connect with me.
Oh my gosh.
I know that sounds crazy, and I know a lot of people would not believe that, but I promise you, because he was doing it when I was at that location, and he would text my phone and say, "I'm outside." I am not kidding you guys. I am not kidding you. So, yeah, some
Wow.
freaky stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Crazy.
I could talk to her all day.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I really did. Thank you. And I don't know. How do you go about getting? If I wanted a reading, maybe we could talk off here if you want. I can message you and we can maybe try to do something soon.
Yeah, you can just reach out to me. I do charge people, but I don't charge everybody. So, like, I've given family readings. People very, very sad when grieving mothers reach out to me to help them with their loved ones that's disappeared. And I would never, ever charge a grieving person like that. And I don't. But I have helped people with cases before. And yeah. So, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, sometime, but I just warn you, I'm very busy.
I understand. Yeah. Of course.
I get so busy, but because I schedule readings out, and this weekend I'll be investigating Anna. I'm at a big event. I'll be doing readings there, and I got another investigation Monday, and then readings, and yeah.
Busy girl.
Yeah, busy. But yeah, you can definitely reach out to me, and I can definitely give you a reading.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mandy. And we'll make sure to link your Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff in this when we post it up. And I just want to thank you again.
What is? I know you messaged me your. Are you guys on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. He doesn't do much Facebook. It's the Jesse Maffitt.
So, is your podcast on Facebook?
No. It's on YouTube. It's on
Okay.
Apple Podcasts,
What is it on-
Spotify. It's called the Bride and Geek Podcast.
Well, let me go over here and follow you guys. Let me see.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we just started about
Oh, there
3
you are.
weeks ago.
Okay.
We're still
I
newbies.
subscribed.
Like I said, I had the YouTube channel, and then that kind of gets boring after a while. And Jesse's like, "Well, I kind of want to do another podcast," and I'm like, "Well, how about we do a podcast?" And she's like, "Well, what would we talk about?" And I'm like, "How about everything? We can talk about
There you
paranormal
go.
stuff. We can talk about stuff we see on TV, stuff that's happening in our life, just everything,
Yeah, 'cause I
everything
did-
and nothing at
well,
all."
I did have a podcast and I didn't keep up with it. About all my each episode was about my experiences and stuff. And I eventually want to try to write a book. I get into it and then I stop, but I hope to do that and get that finished sometime in my life.
Yeah, I actually started writing a story from the time I was young, all my experiences. I got all of my notes written out, all the way up until the point where my daughter was experiencing things, and I got mentored for a year, and then I stopped it. And the next chapter will be my ghost hunting career.
Oh, yeah, that would be the
Yeah, there
best.
you go.
Yeah. So,
All right. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much. Do you have anything that you want to say to people as we're going out of here?
Hey, yes, please, if you're not a follower of mine and you want to come and watch episodes, you can subscribe to my channel, Ghost Sister. You can follow me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I do my live readings and live investigations on my channels. So if you're interested in watching a live investigation, you can watch me live on TikTok. And you can watch some live investigations on my YouTube channel along with episodes.
All right. So thank you so much, and we wish you luck. So have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, and we just appreciate your time. That's all.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Well,
thanks.
All right. We'll
Thank you
talk
for
to you
reaching
soon.
out.
All right, hun.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Jesse, how was it?
Freaking awesome.
I know. Look at that smile on your face. Oh my God.
I am so hyped. I don't even know if I can sleep tonight, honestly.
That's it. Like you just rip the headphones off your head, and you're like, "That was so awesome!"
Yeah. And I know she's busy, all mediums and, paranormal investigators. If that's what you make your life, then it's like a full-time job. So hopefully, maybe soon, I can get a reading and maybe we'll do it online
Yeah.
or post it online when she has some time. But yeah,
Sounds fun.
I think maybe we'll bounce back and forth with talking to paranormal investigators or mediums or psychics or whoever, whoever wants to call in and just talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good going with whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of what I like. It's like we can talk about anything, everything, nothing at all. Like what we did, what we ate, what we saw on television, what happened at work, or we could talk about that dirtbag neighbor that doesn't cut his grass. It's whatever. It's whatever.
Yep, absolutely. Did you notice any weirdness when she called?
Like, what do you mean?
Like interference, like how her voice would come in and out, and a little bit.
Maybe.
I heard a little bit of stuff. I thought I heard another voice.
Yes, I definitely heard some modulation on the voice a couple times for sure.
Did you hear like another voice other than hers?
Well, we're gonna find out whenever we
I guess so,
whenever we edit this thing
The
together.
room that she was in, she said it's not a very happy spirit. She said so.
No, we're gonna find out because when I edit this thing together, we can look for different waveforms and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be fun.
yeah. So this was a good one. This was a good one.
It was.
Say one for the ages, but hopefully this is an all the time thing. I mean, she was really great one, I think, to be the first one. It's like it's gonna be hard to live up to that every time, I think.
And
So she's pretty amazing, actually.
It was so weird because I follow a lot of paranormal investigators on Facebook, mediums / psychics, whatever. But something told me it was her. Like I just, out of all of them. And
It was. We talked about it, and then like within hours, you were like, "Hey, yeah, I got somebody. It's this person." Blah blah blah. It's like,
so weird.
Really? Already? Like you talked to them, you got them on board already? Like we're just two people like in a small town that just started a podcast, and it's big time, like a full-time medium paranormal investigator. Like this is what her career is.
Yes.
This is what she does to like live.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
That's it. She retired from her job and does this for a living. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is a good one. This is gonna be tough to live up to every week. So.
And I know she had mentioned, I think we got on there because she didn't want to like really give her age, but Mandy, I'm 42 and Ray is
47.
And we are from PA. We're about 40 minutes, give or take 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. We live in the Westmoreland County area, close to Latrobe, Ligonier.
Yeah, it's like a rural suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I don't know if anything historical happened around here.
Oh,
other
yeah,
than
for
Mr.
sure.
Rogers and Latrobe, the ice.
Yeah, and there's the Bushy Run battlefield and Fort Hannistown, and like there's definitely stuff like Revolutionary War stuff that happened in this area.
Yeah, so Mandy, when you listen to this, maybe you can check it out sometime, the things around here, and come to PA, because Ohio's probably not that far, but
Yeah, very nice.
or maybe we can join her and do an investigation.
Look
That
at
would be
you.
so
Oh my God, look at you. You're like, this big smile. You look like the Joker over
That would
there.
be really cool if we could do that.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to her. I know she's busy.
You got to smile like that Smile movie. The big cheese.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
what did we watch? We watched, I think that was this week or the weekend. We watched Obsession.
Oh man, that movie. Oh God.
No.
Oh my God, you keep
Why
doing
don't
that.
you love me?
Oh my God, you keep doing that. It's crazy.
I'm
That
sorry.
movie. What they were thinking when they
I
made that
know.
movie. Oh my gosh.
You get a wish, and this guy wishes for one of his friends to fall in love with him, and she basically becomes obsessed with him, and it's really bad. I ain't gonna give no details, but and I'm sure everybody's probably heard the no.
No, it's bananas. I mean, it's like one of those movies. It's like, I don't want to say it's like the Human Centipede bad, but it's pretty bad. I mean, not in like a gross way, but like a something crazy is going to happen, and then it does.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, babe. Let's get on out of here.
All right, guys. So listen, subscribe, and
yeah, check us out. We're all over, man. We're on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, like all of the things. We don't have a bunch of like social media, at least not yet. It's hard to keep up with that kind of stuff. So we're just trying to keep up on putting podcasts out and doing that thing. Maybe. Yeah,
Ray doesn't do Facebook. I do.
Yeah, it's
Jessie Maffit, JESSI MAFFIT, and I'm there.
Yeah, that's my wife. I'm part of the wife. All right, thank you so much, Jessie, for doing this with me.
Yes, thanks for doing it with me too.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you next week.
All righty. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.